Welcome back to Excellent Games. There we go.
Perfect.
Now you're getting the. Now you're figuring out what we're doing.
Finally, I get it right for once.
Finally, you know what the channel's name is.
It's like, why? It's Dashy.
Is it
It's
I can't even think of it.
It's
Is it Cinemassacres?
No, it's Channel Awesome.
Is it
It's one of those two.
It's one of those. Yeah.
First time I ever heard of Cinemassacre, I didn't at first I was like, do they make horror movies? And it's, oh my gosh.
First death in the episode.
First death in the episode. Caves. I wanted to first heard of Cinemassacre. I'm like, I never went to the website, and I always keep seeing Cinemassacre, and it's like it's where the angry video game nerd lives. Oh my gosh.
So slippery.
It's gonna be one of those episodes. Gonna be. Like, this is.
Wow, 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 wow.
I was like, don't go jump no further, please don't.
Did it.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun
dun.
dun 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 dun. I was watching one of the Stone Cold podcasts, and he's like, "Yeah, he needs to update that song. Like Metallica needs to remake it."
I would love to hear Metallica remade it.
Dun, 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 dun.
Unfortunately, I feel like it's one of those things that you kind of wish a certain musician would have. Like for me, I was like, okay, when Lemmy from friggin' Motorhead, lead singer, one of the best rock voices I have ever heard, I would love to hear him do nursery rhymes, and I'm like, I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Like, somebody just you never hear him talk. It's not that Ozzy Osbourne incoherent mumbling talk.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's this old guy. He's drank way too much booze in his life, and it's just like it literally sounds like his lungs, his throat's made of sandpaper. It's that kind of voice. And it's like, I would love to hear this guy tell stories to children.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman would be the best. Is the best.
Yeah, it's just best in general.
As you can see, Morgan Freeman did not appreciate the.
He'd be like, "Hi, I'm Morgan Freeman.
I'm Morgan Freeman.
I'm Morgan Freeman, and I'm playing some Donkey Kong Country."
Could you? Oh my gosh, Morgan Freeman doing Let's Plays of video games would be
We're
amazing.
playing some Donkey Kong.
Playing Donkey Kong.
We got these monkeys running around in the snow.
It's like, well, he did do.
Morgan Freeman.
I think he did do. Oh my gosh, that just made my heart stop.
That just startled you. But look at all these bananas I'm getting. That was a huge ad.
My heart just stopped in 5 seconds and
was
restarted. Oh my gosh!
Yes! Yes!
Oh my god.
Did it.
Dip.
Oh, where is he? Oh, he's down here. I thought he was
I'm like, you're jumping. What are you jumping for? Oh, you gotta get up there?
This is a secret. Just kind of.
Oh, okay.
Just exploring around. I don't know. Oh man. What's missing?
Make sure to get the letter and not the banana.
Dude. Oh, I needed that too.
I do find it kind of it's the funniest thing is to see Diddy Kong, and Diddy Kong is probably more popular than Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's granted, I know Donkey Kong will always have his own thing, but at the same time, you always look at Diddy, and Diddy will always be, better. Not because he does anything different from what Donkey's doing.
No, he's just.
I think he's
He's hip. That's why.
He's hip. It's I think it's like he's smart enough to wear more than, you know, a couple articles of clothing.
A tie is fine.
A tie is fine. It's just.
Damn.
Aw.
I hate doing those. So what do you think of the final roster of Smash Bros. Right now?
Well, as of right now, I'm
Without DLC.
Okay, minus DLC. I actually love the roster. I was waiting for the longest time. When are we gonna get Castlevania characters? When are we gonna get a Belmont in there? And we finally get not one but two Belmonts. We get Simon Belmont and Richter Belmont. And I'm like, yes, I like these characters. I already like them anyway, just because the concept of them using whips and then basically think of them like to me he was always going to be like a version of Link.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
But basically taking that hook shot and making that his weapon of choice. There was another. Oh yeah, Ken was the one that I think he was
very surprised.
I wasn't surprised. I knew they were going to do something because if they said, "Oh, we're introducing Echo Fighters," which is just another term for clone, but I actually accept the term anyways. I think it's the thought like, well, why don't we get the original Echo Fighter in here as Ken? The one that
one that started it all.
The one that Ken, the original clone. The thing is, I like that one of his final smashes is okay. If you ever look this up, if you ever look up Street Fighter 3, Ken, the Ken Kai. I'm trying to think of for Ken, but there's this whole scene that somebody had this little sliver of health and playing as Ken, and someone was playing Chun-Li, and they used their super, which is basically, you know, their whole hyper combo that does massive damage. He couldn't block that. But here's the thing with Street Fighter 3. It has an ability called parrying. If you time it right, you can actually take no damage from any attack. But everything has this. It's all about the timing. You got to time it just right, because if it goes wrong, then you're stuck.
Like that.
He parried every single kick and countered with a what do they call it, the Tatsumaki Seppu Kyaku, or the hurricane kick.
Yeah.
It was the super combo version of that one. That's the one that they use for Ken in Super Smash Brothers, because they give him his what is it called, the Shinku Shoryuken, which is basically a big pillar of fire for his uppercut. But but for that one, he.
There you go, espresso.
Espresso. I laughed. I'm sorry. In that, the fact that his other final smash that they give him is if he counters the person's move just right, he will do that move. I'll have to show you. I'm trying to remember who was the one that did it. It was a player character, a guy who's his name's Daigo.
Okay.
If you ever look up Daigo, oh my gosh, that guy's awesome. Like, and even look up look up any kind of Smash Brothers upsets. Like someone is a guy named Hungrybox who only uses Jigglypuff. He only uses Jigglypuff, and
I shouldn't laugh because there's people out there that use Pichu.
They use Pichu
and actually really good with them.
Yeah, there's some in there everybody will keep saying, "Oh, Bowser is low tier. Bowser will never make it up into tournament. Probably he won't reach up as in the high levels play, but at the same time, to see somebody use him and use him well
and beat a high tier character.
By a high tier character, to me, that is the best way to do it. Fingers crossed to see if Luigi will ever reach up to there. I doubt it, but I would love to see it.
I'm glad Donkey's right in the middle. I just like that.
Donkey's always in the middle. He's always
it's good.
It's good. to me he's a fine character because he's actually. He's fine as he is. I don't think they can't change too much for his character. I think other than just, it's like they could have given him like the freaking coconut shotgun that he had in Donkey Kong 64, but they didn't. But they let Diddy have his peanut pop gun and his and the jetpack, which I'm completely fine with. Just because it's like if you're gonna bring in a new character, you got to bring in something that. Because Diddy is just another form of Donkey Kong, but just smaller, just lighter, and jumps higher.
That's why they called him DK Light when they first came up with names.
Yep. But Diddy just to me, he became his own guy, and it's like, I'm like, we're not gonna do Donkey Kong racing, we're gonna do Diddy Kong racing.
They almost did Donkey Kong racing though.
They almost did Donkey Kong racing. Wow, this one's gonna be.
This is gonna be that one.
Oh my gosh, it's really gonna be this kind of episode, isn't it?
But well, I know they changed Donkey from Brawl to Wii U is a lot different.
Yeah. Like
they actually made him more. Not like a heavy character.
I don't think he's ever really been a heavy set character. He's surprisingly light. But I get where maybe if they made him lighter, it would be something different. It differentiates him from other heavy-set characters. Whereas look at Ganondorf and Dedede, characters that are freaking oh shoot, those characters have always been they drop like rocks.
Oh yeah, they just like Little Mac. Like
Little Mac, he's gonna be on the ground forever. I know they gave him some changes, and I'm pretty sure they will. But I think he's more grounded. He's him and Ryu share that same sentiment of being just stuck on the ground.
I just hope K. Rool is the highest tier possible.
He's in the.
He's number one best character in the game.
Best character in the game, unbeatable.
Well, I guess we gotta nerf him now.
Well, they had to nerf him a lot of times, and for every character I've seen in there.
Well, they did it for Diddy and Wii U.
Diddy and Wii U. They never fixed Bayonetta. She was completely overpowered. Hopefully, they fixed her in this one. Hoping for that one because she was really almost unbeatable. And you really can't have that for a kind of character. I get Bayonetta is really strong, and you want her to be a good, strong character anyways. But at the same time, I don't think you... Could you duck that? No.
You have to really time
You have to really time the jump. And they don't let up.
Oh, no. These later levels, they're just
they're going to...
Easy, boom!
Let's just use everything. Get rid of that Orangu man.
Now I want Mankey to be the next Smash character.
Mankey or Primeape? Which one do you want? Because Primeape is his evolved form.
No, Mankey from this game.
Oh.
That's what they call them, the Mankey Kongs.
Oh, the orangutans?
Yeah.
I was like, you mean Mankey, the Pokemon? Or Mankey Kong, these things that are apparently...
Yeah, the barrel-throwing ones.
Barrel-throwing orangutans.
The ones that are related to Lanky.
I always found I was like, how come Lanky was okay, but yet these guys aren't?
Lanky's special.
You think he's
just a little bit special.
He's a little bit on the... You feel like he might be on the spectrum?
He's just a little,
He's a little on the special side.
That's why he's got a funny face.
Got a funny face.
He can handstand if he needs to. And stretch his arms out
just for you.
Inflate himself. Just like a balloon. I like it part.
They gave him every character in there had some pretty, I guess their powers that are unique to them. But then they give Lanky the goofball powers. He inflates like a balloon. His arms stretch. He gets the freaking blowgun that shoots grapes. He gets the freaking. What else does he get? He gets Oh, he does the handstand, and then the speed up for the handstand.
He's pretty much like Kazooie.
He's very Kazooie in his approach to a lot of stuff. But even when you get someone like Chunky in there, and then Chunky gets all the I like the fact they gave him invisible, and the only thing that is not invisible is his coat, is his vest and hat. Am I the only one who found it to be kind of hilarious that they actually gave that to him? It's like, okay,
that whole game is hilarious.
The game is hilarious. I have no issue with. I like that game. It's just I just didn't like that every single character had collectibles.
Yeah, that's like,
I mean,
take you hours and hours.
It took It took longer than it needed to when it came to trying to
do all
that. And okay, it is a funny story. My mom and my aunt, when they played that game, oh my gosh, they never stopped. And they just and they had to get everything. Oh my gosh, they had to get everything. I think, and they even they messed up in some way. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
They messed up in the way that they accidentally gave one of the Kongs where it was that Donkey only had because every character in there would get about 5 bananas each.
Yeah.
In each level, including the hub world. And somewhere they did a mess up where DK only got 4 bananas, but Tiny got 6. So one of those was the ones that she got. So
I know in the hub world that she gets 1.
Yeah.
That's why it's at 1-on-1.
Mm-hmm.
Next episode.
Next episode.